What's up, guys? Dom here with Restricted America. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I know I usually cover stuff that goes on in Massachusetts, but I wanted to zoom out a little bit, and today we're going to be quickly going over something that happened in New York State. This happened about a week ago, and so I'm a little bit late to the news. You might have heard it already, but it has to do with New York's updated concealed carry law. They are calling it the Concealed Carry Improvement Act of 2022. It was a Bruin response bill, and it just includes a plethora of unconstitutional infringements. Different parts of it have been fought in court. The part that was ruled on last week happened to be the restrictions on carrying guns on private property that are open to the public. I'm going to read an article. This is by Fox News. It's called New York Gun Control Regime Handed Defeat in Court. This is by Chris Pandolfo of Fox News, and this was published October 12th, 2024. Without further ado, I'm going to get into reading the article. A federal judge said a newly enacted state law that bans licensed firearms owners from carrying concealed weapons on all private property unless the owners permit weapons with a sign or by express consent violates the constitutional right to keep and bear arms, at least as to private property open to the public. The subject of this motion, New York's restriction is unconstitutional, wrote U.S. District Court John Sinatra Jr., a Trump appointee. Regulation in this area is permissible only if the government demonstrates that the new enactment is consistent with the nation's historical tradition of sufficiently innocuous regulations, the judge wrote, citing recent Supreme Court precedent. New York fails that test here. The judge also denied a motion from New York for a 2-week stay in the ruling, while the state attorney general's office filed an appeal, reasoning that the state is unlikely to succeed on the merits. So obviously they not only ruled in the opposition's favor, but they also denied, the defendant, the Attorney General's office, Letitia James, from putting a temporary stay on that order. So that is good news, because a lot of the times these stays can go into effect and, they can range in time wildly. This one was only going to be a 2-week. You hear of a lot of these going, months. This is good because basically this judge basically said, yeah, this is obviously unconstitutional. And not only that, but your appeal basically has no chance. So of course I'm not going to put that stay on the ruling. But to keep going, Sinatra said that property owners have a right to exclude legal gun owners from carrying firearms on their property, but the state may not unilaterally exercise that right and thereby interfere with the long-established Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens who seek to carry for self-defense on private property open to the public. Concealed Carry Improvement Act, signed by Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul in July 2022, was passed in response to a Supreme Court ruling that declared the state's previous concealed carry permitting requirements unconstitutional. Last December, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit blocked several provisions of the law from taking effect, though it upheld a controversial requirement that concealed carry permit applicants demonstrate good moral character and disclose household and family members on a permit application. The appellate court also let stand a ban on concealed carry in so-called sensitive places, including theaters, bars, public parks, and other spaces. So again, there's other parts of this bill that are still standing. Obviously, sensitive places is a big thing around the country that a lot of these Bruin response bills are including, especially the one in Massachusetts. Many of my viewers know this from Bill H4885 that Governor Maura Healey just signed an executive order, emergency declaration, putting that bill into effect immediately. So now all of these sensitive places you can't carry. That is very similar. That is being upheld in New York right now, so that's definitely going to have to be fought in court as well. But to continue reading, gun rights activists praise Sinatra's decision. This is yet another important victory for Second Amendment rights and another major loss for New York. Authoritarian governments and radical anti-rights organizations like Everytown and Giffords, said Brandon Combs, president of the Firearms Policy Coalition. We will continue to fight forward as we work to restore the full scope of the right to keep and bear arms. throughout the United States. Hopefully Kathy Hochul is ready to write another check for legal fees, he added. New York Attorney General's office did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Earlier this week, Hoko celebrated her administration's gun control policies, announcing that gun violence in New York State has declined 47% since she took office in 2021. And you all know what happened when the Supreme Court overturned the laws that against concealed carry weapons, stripping away the power of the governor of the state to make her citizens safe. When the Supreme Court did that, we didn't throw up our hands and surrender. We fought back, Hochul said. Yes, Kathy Hochul threw a fit. And so did many other governors of extremely anti-gun liberal states like Massachusetts. They did the same thing, and they took their playbook from the Gabby Giffords, from the Everytowns. That's what they did. We doubled down, we came up with legislation, and we have a prohibition on concealed carry weapons in sensitive places. I personally think every place is sensitive. Don't you? All right, well, we drew the lines, okay? We decided what was sensitive, and so far we are good. So every place is sensitive. She's basically saying she personally thinks that every place is sensitive, and she loves the sensitive places rule where you can't carry firearms. So she's saying every place is sensitive, even your home. So you can't carry anywhere. You can't carry at all. That's what Kathy Hochul, with her extreme anti-gun agenda, is basically admitting to right here. I honestly can't believe she said that. However, gun rights groups argue that Sinatra's decision shows Hochul is wrong. As we've said all along, the sensitive place carry restrictions imposed by New York Post Bruin are unconstitutional. Hard stop, said Bill Sack, Director of Legal Operations for the Second Amendment Foundation. We are thrilled that once again the courts have agreed and sent this amoral and unlawful ban packing. End of article. So guys, I'm not from New York. I have never lived in New York, but to anyone that is living under these restrictions, and hopefully this video is getting to you guys, this is a small win for you guys. I hope the wins keep on coming, because that bill that they passed in 2022 that you guys are still fighting is obviously extremely unconstitutional. I'm pissed off that certain parts of that bill are still being upheld to this day, but I think eventually and hopefully soon the rest of that bill is struck down, including those sensitive places. And I hope you guys can vote out that extreme anti-gun governor, Kathy Hochul. Get a better governor that's going to uphold your Second Amendment rights. So guys, that's all for today. If you like these kind of videos where I zoom out into other states' laws and what's going on around the country, definitely hit that like button, leave a comment or concern in the comment section, and make sure you are subscribed. Other than that, guys, stay informed, stay unrestricted.